Good morning, students. We have learned about indifference curve. We have learned about budget line. Budget line is whatever amount of income that you have while purchasing goods in the market. Correct? That is your budget, and that budget you are going to spend on different variety of goods or combinations that we have learned so far. But while doing so, when you are going to get the maximum satisfaction, that is important. And the thing is very much clear. You will be satisfied in the market while purchasing the commodities only if your income and your price are equal. It is the level where you will get the maximum level of satisfaction. So the today topic that we are going to learn is related with the same, and we call it as a consumer's equilibrium using indifference curve analysis. So let's see, on the board you will get complete clear picture, complete idea about this consumer's equilibrium using indifference curve analysis. So let's see, students. Here, consumer's equilibrium using indifference curve analysis. Now, here in the consumers, how you get the consumer's equilibrium is very important part. Consumer's equilibrium you will get when there is a higher level of satisfaction. Means whatever the amount you are going to spend and whatever the combination you are going to purchase, whether it is of apple or it is of the banana, after consuming whatever you have spent, you will realize, yes, that my money is recovered now. I am very much happy. Whatever I spent, I got it. So that is when you will get the equilibrium, when your prices of the commodities that you have spent on the goods and the satisfaction that you derive on after expenditure, that should be equal. Correct? Where you will get, that is the point where you will get maximum level of satisfaction. So once again, given price and income, now to get the maximum level of satisfaction and to learn about this indifference curve analysis, income is given there, the price is also given there, it is constant, there is no changes in the price and income, it remains same. Because I told you, any law in economics, any theory in economics will be perfect only when other things remain constant. Other parts, other things, or other prices, or the income, or the commodities remains constant, then only this theory will be applied. Here also you will get the consumer's equilibrium, but at a point where your income is not going to change, at a point where your price of your commodities are not going to change, then only you will get the consumer's equilibrium. Correct? So to make this law perfect one, prices, you can see here, the prices should be given no change, as well as income should remain same, no changes in that. Keep in mind. Got it? Income is what? Your budget. The income is what? Whatever there in your pocket. And the price is what? Price of the commodities that you are purchasing. That should remain same in a short period of time. Now, another part. Equilibrium attained through indifference map and budget line together. Now, this consumer's equilibrium that we are going to show on the budget line and indifference curve. Correct? Earlier we seen the consumer's equilibrium while consuming more and more units of mangoes, consumer getting satisfaction, utility, that we have learned. But now we are getting the consumer's equilibrium at a point where there are indifference map and budget line tangent to each other. Tangents means touching each other, that is tangent. each other. Correct? So how we are getting this consumer's equilibrium with the help of indifference curve? We are going to see this. If you learn the indifference curve in an earlier lesson, it will be easier for you to understand here. You got this y-axis. On the y-axis represented by goods y, x-axis represented by goods x, and there is a one line. Of course, that is nothing what you have learned earlier. It's a budget line only. Budget line, your income, which is same, fixed. So fixed line is drawn, and you are not going to the market. That is your fixed line. Okay, just imagine. This is your income of 20 rupees. Same rupees I will take in mind. 20 rupees, and you want to buy goods X and goods Y. Correct? You went to the one shopkeeper. He got the bananas, but that costing was 50 rupees, 60 rupees. Then what you will do? It's not possible for you to purchase that. So where you can see that combination, this part of indifference curve 3. Okay, here all these combinations which are shown there, combination of banana, combination of apples, these combinations are not possible for you to go for, to purchase. The reason is the prices are high. As I said, banana is 50 rupees and apple is 60 rupees. Not possible for you because you have only 20 rupees. Your budget line is only 20 rupees. So these are the not expected combination that you can attain. This is out of question. Next combination, you go to the market, another shopkeeper, he is saying that it's 25 rupees and apple is 28 rupees. Sorry, it's not possible for you to have this both combination. Then you leave it. This combination also you leave it. But another retailer you went and he said that apple is 5 rupees and banana is 50 rupees. Then you'll be happy. Your income and the cost is equal, and what you want, that combination is also there. So this is the point where you are getting consumer's equilibrium. So consumer's equilibrium you are getting at the point where your income and the price of a commodity X and Y given, you get the consumer's equilibrium. And here another indifference curve, it also shows that this is another part. Here not attainable, this is attainable, means you can have these goods and commodities, while other parts are also attainable, but here this is what these combinations are, what underutilization of your income, means you have 20 rupees but you are purchasing only of 10 rupees. That is here 10 rupees, 7 rupees, 6 rupees, 8 rupees. These are the combinations are there that costing only this much rupees only, means you are not utilizing your given income, and your income is 20 rupees, I said. Am I right? That is why this is underemployment of your income. Correct? Underutilization of your income. So this diagram will show you about your income, relation between your income, price, correct, and the combination. It will show you a combination. These both will show you a combination of commodity, income and prices. So this is what, students, is consumer's equilibrium using indifference curve analysis with the given price and income. That's it. So let's see the conditions. Conditions what? Consumer's income and the price should be matching. Number 2, once again, consumer's income and price should be matching. Number 2, there should not be any change in the prices and the income. Correct? Otherwise, if price increased, then you will not be able to, price of the commodity at this point is increased, then you will not be able to purchase this particular combination also. Correct? Then therefore I am telling you, the one thing is very clear, to make it a perfect law, the certain condition has to be followed, that your income and the price not change. That's it. Okay, students. Next, you can see here After learning this consumers equilibrium using indifference curve analysis, one question I would like to ask. I hope you will be answering. Very simple. It's based on the utility. Okay. Just see here, students, if you can. Here, a person's total utility given below. Person's total utility is given there below, and the units given there. You have to find out the marginal utility. First, units are given 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and total utility is given, that is 0, 10, 25, 38, 48 and 55. How to calculate marginal utility? Let's see. 0 is given here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here marginal utility I have written as it is the answer. But how I got this marginal utility, that is important. By reducing every successive total utility that you are derived from extra units of commodity. If you minus, you will get the marginal utility, because marginal utility, when you add, you are getting the total utility. So when the total utility is given and marginal utility is not given, then you will have to minus the total utility from each next consumption of units. So you can see here, initially it is 0, then it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but total utility is 10 to 25, so 25 minus 10 is what? 15. And initially marginal utility and total utility remains the same, that we have already learned. So this is how marginal utility you derive, that we have already learned earlier. We derive marginal utility, it is nothing but through the changes. What changes it is I am talking about? One apple, you get the 10 units of marginal utility. Second apple, you are getting 20 units. But that 20 units includes the 10 units? No, this is separate. So total utility will be 30. Got it? 20 plus 10, 30. So if you want to get the marginal utility at the second unit, then that 30 minus total utility 30 minus first utility or total utility, that is 10. Then you will get the minus, after reducing that you will get the 20, that is a marginal utility. So it is difference of all successive units of total utility, and this is how you will be able to complete your marginal utility table, which is already written here. Okay students, so with this we end this lecture. Thank you very much. Have a good day.